That's okay. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Okay, now hold on. Welcome. We have Ian Jackson here, a watercolor painter extraordinaire, painting a whimsical unicorn today.
Yeah, whimsical unicorn. Although I will correct you in a minute. It's not quite a unicorn. I'll tell you why.
I did see something a little different about it. Okay, and I'm during the live stream, I'm going to try to post your link during, like in the description box during.
Right.
And then I guess try to periodically post it in the chat too. I gotta try to do that, but okay.
Oh, that's a bit weird. I might have to make a slight adjustment, everybody.
Okay, we have time. Well,
it's just it's not showing height-wise at the full height. It seems to be cropping in.
It's showing. I like how you drew it dark because it really showing good today. It looks like today was a good reception.
Probably.
A good connection, I mean, a good connection.
Let me just make some slight alterations.
Welcome everybody who
hello everybody
watching. So welcome to our listeners who cannot participate in the chat. That's fine.
I think that might be better. That means I'm going to have to make that alteration. There you go. You can see all of it now.
Oh yeah, it looks lighter now though.
That's just light on it. I'm going to adjust the light on it in a minute.
Okay, all right. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, that's better.
Well, I'm going to make some other slight alterations in
different, like we said. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. You continue on with everybody while I'm just making some adjustments.
Oh, like we said, we've noticed this before, the difference between the YouTube and the StreamYard. Because when I see you directly on my laptop, that looks good. And then when I look on when
YouTube.
when I look on YouTube, it looks lighter.
YouTube, it throttles everything.
Yeah, and we can't.
Because we've got so much streaming. What am I doing?
Right, we can't do anything about it.
I don't need it as bright as that. A bit more. I wonder if I need a bit more contrast. No.
And the other half of the sheet is blank. You plan something for that?
Yeah. No, I'm just working on the half a sheet today. There's no need for doing it's going to be complicated enough, that.
Really?
Yeah, it's quite a complex piece.
Wow,
really.
It's complex. Okay.
Let me just see if I can get me me focus right now.
Well, listen, I can't believe we have 4 thumbs up and nobody's in the chat.
Hey?
Yeah.
How could you possibly have done that?
5 people watching, but nobody's in the chat. Well, thank you, everybody who's watching and listening. We appreciate that anyway. All the same, appreciate that. You don't have to participate in the chat.
No. I think that's me set up.
I think that's pretty good. On YouTube, it's looking better.
All right. I'll just get rid of 1 or 2 unnecessary things, and I'll go to YouTube. I'll see if I can get on your thing, then I'll just pop the chat out, and then I'll be able to chat then. Look at chat.
Oh, okay. Well, usually you don't do that, but you don't have to because I can read the chat to you.
Mm-hmm.
And today on
Well,
Ian's
you're right. Actually, I'll not go on chat because it'll just stress the
okay.
rest of my system out. So just make sure that you pick up on all. If I don't answer you all, it's Dan's fault.
Oh yes, my fault. That's
Your
right.
fault. Dan's fault.
Yes.
So how's your week been?
Oh, it was good. A nice Christmas and all that, and
Uh-huh.
well, no, we can't complain about. Nothing to complain about.
No.
I'm
Is
trying to
that
think
no
of the
rant? No rant of the week this week.
what?
That could be your rant of the week. That there's no rant of the week.
Unless I got to think of something.
But then that would be paradoxical, wouldn't it? Because you would then have a rant, and then you can't rant about not being able to rant.
I have a little bit of a rant. It's
Go on,
totally
man.
unrelated to the holidays. So I love watching. Well, I go to the gym, and the gym you walk the treadmill, and it's so boring. So I try to find interesting YouTube playlists to watch, like different playlists, people's playlists. And I love Casey Neistat. I love Casey Neistat, big YouTuber, but he comes at it with the angle of filmmaking. Like he when he was a child, he wanted to be a filmmaker. So he comes at the angle to his videos at the angle with filmmaking in mind. He really does have that in mind, and it has that feel to it. Very interesting videos, and I mean, fun to watch, interesting, and oh yeah, one of his videos today was about. I mean, wasn't posted today, but that I watched. I mean, from do what you can't do, because all during school they tell you follow directions, ask for permission, wait your turn, and he goes, all of that's bad advice. He goes, do what you can't do, and I'm like, is that there's what I try to do what I can't. I mean there's things I try to do and they can't happen. They don't happen. I can't make them happen.
No, some things are out of our capacity to do. Right? I mean, I can't just flap my wings and fly, can I?
No, but he gave all these examples of I could. Told him he couldn't make films because he didn't go to film school, and here he has a top YouTube channel, and
there's all sorts of things that we put in as minds as blocks.
Yeah.
Right.
Self-limiting.
And we say, "Oh, I can't do that," but it isn't necessarily the case.
Yeah, self-limiting beliefs, right?
Yeah. Whatever you program into your mind is what you end up doing.
But then, no, that's true. But then there's also the thing where you try, like you do something that you want to do, and you try to make it happen, and like I'm trying to increase views on my videos, and I can barely make it happen. I'm trying everything. I follow all these like YouTube videos, how to do this. Oh, I have Morning Fame that tells me how to rank, how to do my videos to rank, make them rank. And that's not worked 2 weeks in a row. That isn't working well. And it's like, you can just keep, a lot of times there's something you want to do and you can't make it happen. So that's my rant. Maybe you should just start painting. Oh, we just lost people. They don't want to hear the rant. Uh-oh, can we hear you? Oh, I can't hear Ian. Oh no, did his computer crash again? Yep, he just dropped out. Oh, his computer crashes and then we usually get him back. So, okay, I'm sure he's going to come back. He does have a problem in the UK, in the town that he lives in, that actually at least once every time he comes on, it only happens usually once during our 2 hours that his computer crashes. So he usually can get back on in about 10 minutes. So let's see. Nobody in the chat yet. Yeah, we're going to wait for Ian. He's painting a whimsical kind of childlike childlike unicorn fantasy creature. I definitely think he says he's going to correct me that it's not totally a unicorn. So I believe it's probably some kind of fantasy creature. Some kind of fantasy creature that's something more than a unicorn, kind of like in the style of a children's book illustration. And he says it's not so simple as you think it is. It's more complex to paint this than we think it might be, even though it's a children's book illustration. He says it's complex to paint. Thank you for those people watching, looking and listening. We appreciate those people. Wow, we have nobody in the chat yet. And we did have Ian, but in the town that he lives in the UK, they have smaller bandwidth, and that causes him to drop out. But it usually only happens once. So we just wait for 10 or 15 minutes for him to come back. Anybody that like to chat about something in the chat, always welcome to any topics. How was your holidays? And yes, for those people who just came on, we're just waiting for Ian to come back because technical difficulties. We lost him for technical difficulties, but he usually can get back in 10 minutes or so. So anybody, wow, we have somebody in the chat. Okay, so we here, yeah. Oh, hi, Mystic Unigon. Nice seeing you. I hope your holidays were good. Did you do any cooking? Did you do cooking on the holidays, like the holiday meal or something else? Oh, let's see who else. Oh, hi, Craft Beer Pours. Yeah, oh, hi, Kathleen Elliott. So Craft Beer Pours, yeah, just right before the show, I had a couple of the 60-minute, same one I told you about last time. My husband really likes them, so he buys it. The 60-minute Dogfish, what do they call it? Dogfish 60-minute ale or whatever. It's an IPA. So I just had a couple before the show went on. He seems to just buy he seems to go through like streaks of like buying one and then buying one brand over and over and over again, because about a few months ago he would buy Heineken over and over again, but now more recently he's buying 60-minute Dogfish IPA. Those are strong ones. That's probably why he likes it. And oh, wait a minute, Mystic Union. What craft? Oh, she had a stomach problem. Craft Beer Pours, what are you drinking tonight? Like something like one of your favorites, or you're trying something new? Let's see. Oh, and you know what? I went out to a restaurant, Craft Beer Pours. I went out to a restaurant last week, and I said, what Christmas beer do you have, or Christmas ale? And the way they had nothing. I said, don't you have like Sam Adams, like winter brew or whatever? And they didn't even have that. And I was like stumped. I'm like, what? You don't have any Christmas ale or beer? I'm like, I mean, I didn't say that to her, but I couldn't believe the restaurant didn't have that. A hazy IPA to start off. Oh. It's Ian Friday. Hi, Sleep Stack Rule. Yeah, we have Ian was here for 5 minutes, and we have technical difficulties. This always happens, and he'll be back in about 10 minutes. He has small bandwidth in the town that he lives in, and whatever, it causes technical difficulties, but he will be back in 10 minutes. Today he's painting a fantasy creature that's like part unicorn in the style of a children's book illustration. And he says it's not so simple as we think. He says it's going to be a complex painting. and not so simple as that we think it's going to be. And it's Ian Friday, right? Wow, yeah. And oh yeah, okay, Mystic Unicorn said, no, it's mom. Her mom always does the cooking. That's okay, that's nice. Kathleen, did you do the holiday cooking? Or were you able to visit family members that did the cooking? Oh, hi, Pickerick. And Buddy. Hi, Buddy. Hi, Buddy. And hi, Pickerick. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I hope everybody had a good Christmas, and we're just waiting for Ian. He was just here, but he has small bandwidth in the town that he lives in the UK, and it causes technical difficulties. And he usually can come. Here he is. I said it takes him 10 minutes to come back on. Here he is. Hi, glad you could make it back.
My computer, I don't know what it is. It just don't like Friday nights.
Yeah, it usually happens once during the time. Luckily, it doesn't happen over and over.
I wonder whether it's my server is going through at a certain time. It's going through some sort of check or something.
Maybe.
And it trips it out. I don't know. Because it always seems to be round about first couple of minutes before.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. Something like that.
Right, I'm going to knock off that as well. I don't need that. Right. Oh, it's took all my settings away, so I'm going to have to quickly.
Oh, okay. You have to still do something technical.
Yeah, I've got it's took me Zoom in and out.
Oh, Pickerick's gonna be right back. Oh, that's nice. Okay, Pickerick, that's nice if you can make it back. Let's see. Sleestack says Rick is working on this. LOL. Sleestack. I don't know. Some conversation going on between Pickerick and Sleestack. Okay. And wait a minute. What did she? No, wait a minute. So Mystic Unicorn had a stomach bug right before Christmas.
I wondered. I'd not seen her around.
Oh, you haven't seen her around. She had a stomach bug right before Christmas, and did it affect you on Christmas Day too, Mystic Unicorn? And let's see. And Kathleen Elliott, I'm waiting to see whether she did cooking or not.
Do I need
Who does the holiday cooking in everybody's family?
Apply. There we go. We're done. We're ready.
Okay.
So there we go.
Start whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Okay then. So, where were we? Yeah, we were talking about.
It's a fantasy creature, but not totally a unicorn. Is that what you're going to say?
Yes, it is a unicorn, but this is no ordinary unicorn because this is a seahorse unicorn.
Oh, did you create it?
It is. It is my own creation.
Ah, there we go.
I spent the entire week concepting this.
When I was teaching young kids, I love to do fantasy creatures with the kids because they could really come up with some good things, and it really freed up their imagination to be able to create fantasy creatures.
And as you can see from the picture itself, I've done it in a very whimsical way. Here, I don't know whether you can see here. I've got because this unicorn, it has a rider. It's got a snowman. Yeah. It's got a snowman riding on it.
A snowman.
There you go. And we've got a star here, little star, and that's creating a rainbow because that's what stars do. They create rainbows.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go. I've gone all whimsical on you, haven't I?
Yeah.
Just to show I can be a not.
You could be a children's book illustrator.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
Yes,
but there we go.
If that interested you.
Uh, I think with children's book illustrations, it's a lot of hard work getting the concepts down and getting the artwork done. And I don't
Probably.
think you don't get an awful lot of payback from it.
Oh, well, I guess it depends on how popular the book would get, and then you take probably the percentages are low.
I wouldn't write a book, so it'd have to be illustrations for somebody else's book, and they get the largest share of the money. You just get a payoff for doing a job as an illustrator. The only other way that you could get 100% of the money coming in from the job is by you writing a book, and I'm no Roald Owl, I can tell you that. I'm the most dyslexic English writer in the world.
Oh, really? Okay. Mystic Unicorn says she's ordering herself a new PC so she can stream on Twitch again. Oh, good. I hope you get that new PC. And Kathleen Elliott said she supervised and her son-in-law helped her cook.
Well, that's the best way to do it, isn't it?
Kathleen Elliott. Oh, I forgot, Kathleen Elliott. You have cooked professionally, haven't you? I believe you do. You cook professionally.
Pro chef.
Oh, she says your painting is so cute, and it's a lot to look at. It
is. There's a lot in it. I think I might have overdone it.
No, I don't think so.
But
it tells a story. I like it. A lot of details that tell a story.
Being as we're running a tiny bit late because of my slight problem with my computer. Technical difficulties, we'll call it, yeah.
Right.
We'll crack on.
Yeah, we're going to...
I mean, it's no different, this, to what I would normally do. Right? So, always think about with watercolors, your background first.
Okay.
So, it's a sky. It's dark blue fading into light there till it gets to this landscape here. So we've worked with that before, haven't we? That fading in one color into another.
Right.
So we're going to do that, aren't we? That's what we'll do now. And I'm not going to pre-wet the thing with water this time round because I want a little bit more control. With illustrations like that, you need to have a tiny bit more control.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go across there first and I'm going to try my best to avoid. I've got some little stars in the sky.
Yeah, you got to paint around them, right?
And I'm going to paint around them. So I'm not going to absolutely like, if I go over one, oh wow, so what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's not the end of the universe. So, and I am going to be working around a lot of key areas as well. So, and I just want to try and keep...
Wait, does it change the direction of the brushstroke?
Hey?
Does it change the direction? You're going to keep painting horizontal. You're going to try not to change the direction of your brushstroke.
Well, I'm going to try and keep it like fairly flat and sky-like, and then just come down as I do.
Yeah.
I'll show you in a minute. It'll start off quite inky blue, and then I'm going to go a lot lighter as we get further down. So I'm going to...
To get lighter means you're going to add more water, right?
Yes. Or I could use a lighter blue.
Oh, I see.
That's one of two strategies, isn't it?
Right. I had never seen you do that before. I always see you just add water. But, yep, that's a strategy.
So I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to bring it right down to where the hills are, that. And then, but I'm going to make it, like you said, a lot lighter. I've got a little dicky bird there. Dicky bird. Another star. I'm trying my best not to put any on my horse, although it don't really matter.
And I've never seen you paint in this style.
Yeah, it's more illustrative, isn't it?
Yes,
It's
like this, like very children's book illustration.
And at this bottom bit here, it's going to be a lot lighter.
Right.
In fact, I'm going to bring that down to there, onto that first still, and we'll take that across there because that's light. We've got all that.
So we have 8 people watching.
Yay. So we're going to bring that down now. I'm going to try to avoid that star there.
Oh, the numbers almost match up. 7 thumbs up, 8 people watching.
And then this bit here will just be fairly watery as it gets lighter. Okay. That's glary at the moment because it's
yes, I
because
see.
light's hitting it. So what I'll do now is I'll try and artificially dry it a bit. If I can find my tissue paper. Where's out now? Tissue paper. Can't believe I had it out, but where has it gone? Where are you? Right, I might need to just nip. I can't find where I put my tissue paper, and I'll just go and nip and get some more paper. I'll wait a second.
Okay. Mystic Unigon, I hope you're feeling better. Did your stomach bug did you get over your stomach bug? And could you eat anything on Christmas?
Right, I'm back. Hopefully it's still wet enough for me to use this.
There's still that reflection on that, the last part that you painted, it's still wet.
So hopefully you can see that it's
Yeah, that makes a nice ombre effect.
It's gone from a dark down to a light there.
Yeah.
So next thing we're going to do is remember this is going to be a snow scene because obviously we've got a snow. But what I intend on doing is I'm going to try something a bit more experimental with that. So I'm going to take some of that blue what I've already got, and I'm going to add it to some yellow, which obviously will make it
green.
A greeny colour. Although it is, because that blue is quite dominant, it'll make it a mucky green colour. Now that don't matter because we're going to turn it into a grey colour anyway later. But I just want an undertone of like a grassiness. So again, we're going to be careful about how we're doing this. And
oh, you mean you want like an undertone under the snow?
Yeah, an undertone of green.
Undertone under the snow.
Yeah, and then bring it round there. Just trying to think on where I'm going here. So I'm going to try and avoid as main snowman character. That there as well. Because later on we're going to put some snow over it.
Right. Oh, you're going to use like gouache or Chinese white? You call it Chinese white?
You could use Chinese white, that might work, but I am going to use some gouache. once that's dry, and it'll give it that like feel of, yeah, it's slightly snowy, but not, you know what I mean? You can still see the under thing that's,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. So I've got, and avoiding that tree as best I can. A lot of illustration is like avoiding bits, working around things.
Really? Especially
Yeah,
in illustration?
yeah, because you got to try and keep your image quite crisp.
Wow.
It's not about over layering and things like that. It's
Wow, I
like a one shot kind of.
yeah, almost that seems like kind of like easier watercolor, but you're saying no, it's not?
It is in certain aspects, yeah, it is easier, yeah, because you'd only ever go in boom like that.
Yeah,
But
right.
get it wrong and you've got it wrong,
Hmm.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So
not like acrylic where you can paint over it.
yeah, it's.
Hi, Gracie.
Hello, Gracie.
Oh, Gracie's heard from Carolyn. Okay, and she's doing okay and recovering well from surgery. All right.
Oh, good. I always like to
Thanks for
hear
letting me
that
know, Gracie.
people are okay and doing well. So I've got another little snowman there. And illustrations like this tend to be fairly flat.
Yes, right.
They're not. They're not meant to be. You know, examples of things that are absolutely three-dimensional.
Yeah, to me, I think it would be easier to paint like that.
Well, it is a way. It is a way of doing. I mean, if you want to learn to do watercolor painting, do it. Learn in an illustrative kind of a manner. Why not?
Right. Like I
So
said,
I'm going to go over that in as
I love
well.
trying the loose watercolors. I've tried that in the past, and I tried. I mean, I like working that. I mean, I like the way
It
it
is
looks.
it, loose watercolor does bring you an awful lot of payback. It's really good. It's not easy to pin down and do.
Yeah.
So maybe learning to paint like, if you're new to watercolor painting, then maybe learning to paint like this, where you've got because later on, what I'm going to do is because it's illustrative, I'm gonna get this black pencil, and I'm gonna do a lot of line work in it.
Oh, okay. Well, the other thing is hyper realistic watercolor painters. I think they paint a lot of flat That's not loose and
Oh
painterly.
yeah, uh, yeah, yeah, but they build the realism up over
Oh,
several
okay.
glazes. It's not just one wash and you're done. It's like
Yeah, you got to build it up.
there may be 100 layers in an hyperrealism
Whoa,
painting.
100 layers.
Oh yeah, I mean easily. I mean some of these just to get skin tone glowing in a face, they'll have
Yeah.
they'll have a load of layers in it.
Yep.
So we've got the large majority of the background and the foreground all blocked in. I'm just waiting now, tentatively, for it to be dry enough for me to move on, so there's no blotching or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't want any leaks from one area to another.
Right.
From it's illustrative work like that. Actually, illustrative painting is like this is best done with gouache.
Wow. Okay.
Uh, Neat gouache painting or neat acrylic paint.
Right.
Because if I don't wait for this drying, you'll get bleed. So that's why I'm making sure that there's not going to be any bleed when I work in these other areas, by making sure that it's dry
So
before I
Gracie
move
said, beautiful painting, Ian.
before I move on. So thank you. Right, let's next move on to a star. No, what colour should I do it? Really nice yellow and a little bit of orange. Get that star in there. There you go.
Morning.
There's one there. There's one there. Little star there. A little star there. And that's a star's done. Next thing for us to do is I'm going to paint all of this house here.
Oh, okay.
All right. The good thing about yellow is it's fairly opaque, so if you do have any problems, you can pretty much go over it. So, but that's not always the case with watercolor painting. There are some colours that you just don't matter how much you layer over, you're going to have difficulty covering it up because it's that transparent. That's going to be a gingerbread house, by the way.
Wow, gingerbread house.
So I'm putting the undercolour in there, and then later, and the path, I think I'll have that yellow as well.
Yeah, that's when I taught kids how to paint with watercolor. I would paint that is this kind of flat washes, and the main thing is tell them don't paint two wet areas next to each other. Go to another area of your paper and paint there, and then come back.
That's it. Wait until your next area to it is dry,
right.
And then that controls your water, that you don't get spillage then.
Right.
You've got
that was
to
one
be
of the main things I had to try to drive home to them.
Because
what else did I talk about with them?
Because it's whimsical and it's almost like a children's illustration. That's the technique I'm using here.
But I use watercolors a lot with kids.
Well, I mean, they're probably the safest thing to use.
It's easy because I mean, the one thing that's easy about it, I mean, is the putting them out. Like, of course, if the kid, I tell the kids, you rinse your brush in between colors. But there are those kids that will like take black and run it all through the colors, and I don't notice it until after when cleanup has happened, and I'm like, look at that. They ran through all those colors like that, and put black in everything.
Little rebels.
Right.
What I like to do.
So you rinse. You gotta rinse the watercolors underneath the faucet to clean them.
You know, I've missed.
But I love German watercolors. There's some, because if I just got like regular, like student grade watercolor, like especially they're made for like elementary school, those colors would get used up so fast, especially the blue would get used up so fast compared to the others. So finally, when I had some extra money in my budget, I got these, I had seen a teacher friend of mine. I got these, I think pretty sure they were German watercolors. They came in little round things. Those lasted very well. Those did not get used up fast.
It's down to student paint. They're cheap, but they don't have a lot of pigment, so you've got to put a lot more paint on. it's a lot more economical to actually buy a professional paint
Right. I
because
think these German
it's
ones
more
were.
heavily pigmented.
I think these German ones were more professional. They cost more. They were more expensive.
They weren't schminke, were they?
I think they were. I think that's
Schminke.
were they schminke? I don't
Schminke.
know. Were they?
I
They were
think,
round, but they were round, not
oh,
square rectangles in the pan.
no. Well, at one time, paints used to come in what they call cakes, which were round. But it's more popular these days for them to come in pans,
Right, right.
little square pans.
Rectangle pans.
Yeah, rectangle pans,
Oh,
or
square pan and then
or,
a
or in
rectangle face.
or in tubes like that.
Oh no, I could not use the tubes with elementary school. I
Oh
could
no!
not control them using those
I
little
mean, they
tubes.
probably squeeze the entire thing out onto
Oh,
the
they would
palette.
squeeze the entire thing out, or it
But,
would require me
well,
putting like squeeze little pieces, and I'm like, that's too. I can't do that with all those kids. It's too many kids. So, that you have to have like You just have to have the ready to go watercolors.
I mean, to be frank, if you're talking about elementary kids, they really don't. They shouldn't really have. There is a level below student quality, and it's like absolute begin. For children, watercolors, and and that's the type of paint that they should be working. Unless there's
Oh, I
somebody
don't know
who's
if you're talking about tempera, because they do have cake
well,
tempera.
yeah,
Cake tempera.
they virtually are tempera.
Yeah, that's what
It's just
there's
the
dry cake
watercolor.
tempera, right? I had them too. I had those too, but I always had watercolor too. Each year when I got more money, I even bought 140-pound watercolor paper and it was even having them paint. Yeah, and cutting down. I had like 20, 18 by 24-inch sheets and cutting them down and doing like
Mhm.
real kind of like watercolor things with them. And I don't know. I was just used to um because the watercolor could do stuff that different than the dry tempera.
The thing is, I don't get why. I get why they use tempera for kids and what have you.
Yeah.
If you get it on your school clothes, you can get it off.
Well, no, not only if it's washable. They have special washable tempera. And
Yeah.
that is horrible. It's very, very. I hate the washable tempera because it's not pigmented hardly at all. It's
You
terrible.
know what? You know why? Because tempera really should be. You should have to use it properly.
Mm-hmm.
You should use it as a base, and then you add egg to it.
Oh yeah, right. That's advanced.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen a proper egg tempera painting? How
No,
detailed they are.
I've heard about it. I've heard how they add egg to it. Right.
Obviously, I mean, again, those paints that kids get that are tempera,
Yeah.
it's got a lot of filler in it and not a lot of pigment.
Well, there's dry tempera with it's just the
Mhm.
cakes of tempera, and then they're pretty pigmented. But then there's also this this squeeze creamy tempera, and you could get some really good pigmented stuff as long as it wasn't the washable tempera.
Mhm. Right.
Because that's all I would if I was painting with them. It's either watercolor, dry tempera, or the creamy tempera. I would never no acrylic paints, and nah, we're not using acrylic paints in
Oh
elementary.
no, I mean,
It costs too much.
well, they do. They cost a lot, and to be frank, I wouldn't. When I use acrylic paints, I get it all over myself, and I'm an adult, so
Well, that's okay.
absolutely.
We had aprons.
Yeah, but kids, they're gonna get it everywhere. You just know for a fact
I
that
know.
whatever process you put in place, there's always going to
True.
be one kid who's going to put their hand in it and put it on next door neighbour's dress or
Yeah, I know.
the face or any other thing that they can find to put it on. It's just
That's what
kids.
I think. And I got like a special grant where I got a whole like 100 or more like these disposable aprons, but they could be used like maybe 2 or 3 times, but they were disposable tie-on aprons that you have to tie on and stuff. They cover the front of you really good. And I didn't even go through, I had 2 boxes of them. I must have had 200 of these. And the art teacher that came after me, she didn't even want them. She goes, "Oh no, I teach the kids how to paint without getting dirty." And I was like, "What?
Not possible.
What are you talking about? You teach the kids to paint without getting dirty, without getting."
I mean, you might be able to do that with some adults, but kids, when they get paints, kids, what all they want to do is splat it all over the place. They've got very creative minds. They're not adults.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can't believe
they want to stick their hands in it. They want to get it over everybody else.
I can't believe
anything else.
She teaches kids how to paint without getting a mess on themselves. I'm like,
all the best to her.
I know. She goes, "I won't be needing those aprons," and she was younger than me, not and I'm like, and she goes, "I won't be needing those."
I mean, not that it matters, but does she have kids?
Oh, I don't think well, I don't either, but she does. I don't think she does. But she'd been teaching. She's been around. I mean, she had been teaching like 12 years. She was not a new teacher. She's been teaching about 10 or 12 years. So she knew. So I don't know. Maybe she had some very unique system.
Yeah, very unique. I've not had a huge amount of experience with kids, but the experience that I've ever had with any kids being around any paints is you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to get more on them than they are on the actual painting.
Some of them do. That's why I had
some you'll get, and it'll be pristine, and they'll everything will have been absolutely perfectly painted. Right. And others, look like a bomb's hit it.
Exactly.
So
that's another reason why I liked watercolor paints, because you could not make a huge mess with them on your clothes. You could not really. Not like what could happen with creamy tempera. Ugh. Even dry tempera is pretty pigmented, and whatever. Nothing at least could tip over. That's the good thing. Nothing could tip. Oh, the water jars. Well, it depends which kind of water jars I use, though. There's some that can tip over easier.
You have to keep in mind, isn't it? With water jars and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, there's some that can tip over easier.
There's always one kid who reaches out for something that's far too far away from them and ends up knocking it onto next door person's paint, and they're crying.
Yeah, well, luckily it didn't happen that often, but I was constantly harping on it. Like, how to don't, and I go, you wash and wipe. What was it? It was wash, wipe, and dry, or something. If they were using tempera. Otherwise, I said with watercolor, keep your paintbrush wet. But they wash, wipe, and dry, or wash. I don't know. I forget what it was. And because if they a lot of times they would twirl they would spin the brush inside the water jar a whole lot, and I go really hard, and I'm like, "Oh no, you might knock that over. Watch out." It's just. Whatever, never mind.
Kids, what they're like. So on this, what we were talking about earlier about not right, you can aspire to something and say, "Oh no, I can't do it for whatever reason." But just because you have a go at it don't mean to say that you're going to be successful at it.
Right. So yeah.
To be successful at something might take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of goes.
Yep, a lot of practice.
And that's what it's down to in a lot of cases.
Practice. I used to tell the kids that. I go, it's like basketball. You think I go, you know how the basketball players practice, but they practice because they love it. So if you're going to practice something a lot and you love it, then it's not going to be that hard to practice. So that's why I would tell them art is like that too. It takes practice to get better. But all that practice, if you really love it, then all that practice won't bother you.
Well, that's it. It's part of the course, isn't it? I'm going to move on to because we're getting into quite detailed areas now. I'm going to move on to a slightly smaller brochure because I ought to have moved on earlier. So I've got my rainbow painted.
Okay. I got to look in a minute. Hi, Christine, JCT.
Hello.
Oh, I see.
I don't. Oh, wait a minute. That's something I've got to do. Right, next bit. We're starting to get onto the actual seahorse unicorn now.
Right, it's his fantasy creature. This is Ian's fantasy creature. A seahorse unicorn with a snowman riding.
Yeah. Because they always have snowmen riding. So its mane, I've made it like a purpley colour.
Oh, that's good.
There you go. I mean, what I will do once we've got all colours blocked in is do a little bit of tonal valuing round it, just to, make it slightly more realistic. I know that's not necessarily the most
I'm not sure what you mean, so I'll be interested to see that.
It's only to give it a sense of dimension and, like round the snowman, put a little bit of grey around that area.
Oh, I see. I think I know what you
mean. Just to make sure that you know that it's a ball.
Oh, like make it more like shading to the sphere, you mean?
Yeah, shading to the sphere. Although I'm not going to overemphasize it because it's a flat image anyway. But we want it to have a slightly flat feel anyway. So, do you know what? I'm torn. I think I'm going to leave the horse white, but this bit here, I don't know what colour to do it. Should it be green?
You don't know what color to do what?
Should this front bit be green?
The front. Oh, yeah, I think green.
The horse itself will be white.
Wait a minute. The seahorse, like this is combination unicorn seahorse, and a seahorse would not have green on it. Maybe just tan, like tan beige.
I were going to do it like almost as though that rainbow color, red, yellow, orange, green, like all the way down.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea too.
Do that. See if we can do that. Because at the end of the day, we don't have to go by any standards set by anybody else for colouring. For when you're doing anything like that that's whimsical, just go for whatever colour you want to go for.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's red. And then next one's orange. Do you know how to remember?
Yeah. Yes.
Your colours.
Oh, I forgot the acronym for it. It's like, because that's not really how I taught the kids. I never taught the kids. I would just say yellow, orange, red, purple, blue, green. I show them the color wheel, but I know there's an acronym for it.
In America, it probably won't be said anyway, but we call it. We go by an acronym. Richard of York gave battle in vain.
Oh no, we have a different one, but I can't remember what it was.
So that's red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, violet.
Oh, you call it that. All right.
Yeah. Well, they're actual proper colours, aren't they?
Well, I
That
have the
make
color
up.
wheel. No, on the color wheel that I used, they would never say indigo. They would call it blue, blue violet, and blue, blue violet, and red. I mean, blue, blue violet, and blue green
Blue
on the
green.
color wheel. They didn't actually. They never used the word indigo and American colored wheel or whatever.
Right. So that, I mean, there's several colours that are distinctive within a rainbow, isn't there? So, but anyway, so red, orange, yellow. Let's look for a green. It's all educational. You're learning your colour wheel, guys.
Yeah, in case you never learned in elementary school.
Hey, do you know what? I know a lot of I know a lot of people who say they're artists and they don't know the colour wheel.
Really?
So, yeah, but then again, it's not necessarily that valid to them as artists.
Well, yeah, if it's not needed to them, I get if they don't need it.
I mean, literally, they might just do tonal value paintings and then put a glaze over it with a certain colour, and then that's it done.
Oh my goodness. I have to mark this not for kids. But this is like,
Why?
this is not for kids because this is like an adult illustration for children, but whatever. I'm sorry. I'm marking it not for kids.
Well, mark it not for kids. At the end of the day, I'm not a kid doing it, and it's me who's doing the illustration, and I'm your guest.
Right.
So
And you're not trying to teach kids how to do this.
I'm teaching adults how to
Right.
do whimsical art. It's nothing to do with kids.
That's what I'm probably going to put that in the
one form.
box.
This is one. Right. This is the problem with what a lot of people, what they're proposing about everything. At the end of the day, all these things that are supposedly for kids, are any of them actually made by kids or with kids? No, they're not. Adults do them. So we have to learn how to make things, even if they are for kids. So, technically speaking, this is an adult issue because at the end of the day, I have to learn how to do a type of illustration, even if it is meant for kids, which it isn't.
I think I might even age restrict this. I'm going to age restrict it if that could help me.
My wife, who is years old, she's got a unicorn. I know she has because I bought it for her.
Whatever. I'm age restricting this. But I'm also going to put a description. I'm going to put something. I'm going to put that notice that this instructional video is not made for kids, and I'm going to add to that.
We'll just say it's a tutorial on adult illustration.
That's right. Okay, hold on.
How to produce illustration. Because it is, at the end of the day, you'll find, unless, right, in kids' illustration books and things like that, which I'm not saying this is what it's for, it's not. The vast majority of illustrations that you'll find in kids' illustration books were done by top professional artists who are all adults. It's very, very rare that you get an illustrated book that's done by a 5-year-old.
Yep, I know.
Very rare. You might get the odd book that's quirky, that's been, and it's been deliberately done to showcase a child's drawings. But the vast majority of professional books done by all these really famous people who write kids' books are done by adult, professionally trained illustrators. And that's what this is. It's nothing to do with content for children.
I know, but yeah, it's a little confusing because then they have to say, but is it directed to? No, it's not directed to kids. But is it? And then they say, is it attractive to kids? And I'm like, come on.
I mean, to be frank, that Wow. I mean, everything's attractive to kids.
I know a lot of things are. That's right.
There's honestly, I mean, you tell me that what isn't attractive to kids.
I know. That's when.
And I'll find you. I'll
Mhm.
find you a kid who's attracted
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. So that's why I like how they acknowledge the mixed audience.
Yeah, well, even that, there's issues with it because that's saying that, yeah, this is intended towards kids.
No, well, like people that collect dolls. I know, like there's a doll collector, and that's pretty much geared towards adults, but it could be attractive to kids. So that could be considered. She has a mixed audience, maybe. I think she probably mostly has adults as her audience.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm gonna, because I'll end up getting it wrong. We've got plenty of time, have we? Oh no, with
It's 6 color: yellow, orange, red, purple, blue, green.
I just don't want this to take forever. So I'm just going to speed up a little bit and get this blocked in.
All right, I put your channel link, and now I'm gonna put your channel link early on right now. I usually wait till after the video, but now I got Ian. If you want to know Ian Jackson's YouTube channel, it's in the description box, and I'm also gonna put it in the chat. But check the description box.
Right. What's next? Blue.
You want me happy? It's
If I had a brain, I'd be
order
dangerous.
than how I teach it when I've taught it.
Honestly, if I had a brain, I'd be dangerous. So I'm just basically filling that area in. I'm not going absolute because I'm going to be putting some line work in it anyway. So, but I am trying to make sure that I'm avoiding touching it so that we keep the pure colour when we do it. Right. But this is riveting for you guys.
Oh, let's see. You're painting because I was working on the description box. Okay, hold on. Oh, if anybody came in the chat that's new, welcome, and I'll check the chat and just
Oh well, it had to happen eventually. I'm working too fast. I've touched that. So
what happened?
one bled into other, but it's okay.
Okay.
It's not too big a disaster. Not far off. We're nearly done. Well, it'll actually look nice that once it's done. Because it goes along with that. So it's now officially a rainbow seahorse unicorn.
Oh, okay. It's officially what you said?
It's officially a rainbow seahorse unicorn.
Yeah,
now.
there you go. Uh-huh.
We don't mess about. We go straight to top. Only the best.
I know you had to add that. You had to add that in the name. I get it.
No!
Oh no.
Let me block that out because that will be a problem. That one. See, there's no such thing as a mess up in watercolors. You can always blot it out.
Oh no. Try to tell that to hundreds of people.
There you go. I've sorted it out. Oh. Don't matter that. Oh, I'm not going for perfection. I've been watching some videos on perfection recently.
I know. What, Dina Tollefson?
And one or two different. Dina were one, yeah.
Well, what? So, what did they say? What the videos you're talking about? What did they say about perfection?
Basically, don't beat yourself up
That's
about it.
right.
And I agree with him. I've got to say, if you set too high a stage for yourself, you're going to fall off it.
Yep, that's right. Fall off and hurt yourself.
Exactly. I mean, everybody, every artist makes mistakes with everything that they do. It's a series of mistakes. Look at the great Bob Ross. He made a career out of it.
Oh, it's happy accidents.
Happy accidents, yeah.
Right.
Not that they were intending on doing that. It's just in painting. There's a lot of random things happen that you're not always in your control.
Yeah, that's right. Not in your control.
But you have to work with it and just go with it. Go with the flow.
Yeah, and sometimes like it is a happy accident. Sometimes a lot of times it is a happy accident, and you can an acrylic you can paint over something. That's mostly.
So it's got a tail here. Should we do the tail like rainbowy?
Hi, Irish Whiskey Paranormal. Welcome.
I think we will do.
Let's see who else is new here. Because I was messing around in the description box. Oh, okay. JC says, hi, Ian.
Hello, JC. Really.
Irish Whiskey Paranormal says the paranormal is easy, not for children.
Well, do you know what? FTC will find some way of getting around that. They'll say Casper the Friendly Ghost or something stupid like that.
Come on. No, they're not going to be like that. Hi, Mr. Fulton.
No, I don't know. We'll wait
thank you, Christy, for the help that you've been doing. Thank you.
Put it
We
this
have
way.
trolls in here already.
Oh, have we?
Yep. And she caught them while I was working on the description box.
Thank you for sorting them out. No troll zone. Troll free. Right, so the one bit of the dark bit of the seahorse is it's. Come on, Chrissy, you can tell me. Is it its muzzle?
Who are you talking to? Chrissy or Christy?
Yeah. Is Chrissy here? Chrissy Canvas.
No. It's Christy. It's Christy K-R-I-S-T-I. It's not Chrissy. It's not Chrissy Canvas art.
Right. Okay. So I can't ask that question.
No.
It's too late anyway. I've done it.
She's not been in here now. Okay, here's Ian Jackson's YouTube channel. It's also in the description box.
That because I'm feeling a bit silly. I were thinking about doing a gold horn, but no.
Well, you have metallic watercolor?
I ain't got any metallic watercolors, so that's blown it. Right, next thing to do is its ears. I've got to make sure its ears are done. Now, inside the ears, I always, when I'm illustrating stuff, I always just do a little pink number. There you go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then get rid of as much as I can, and then
Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. We have 10 watching, 13 thumbs up.
Oh, that's good. Right, so now what I want to start thinking about is like little areas like this. Wonder if and that's what helps create a little bit of a cartooniness to it. And we can take that same principle.
What?
We can take that same principle and make that slightly bluer. I'm going to change my water over because that's sickly now. Sickly.
Did you say you're going back in with a black marker?
I'm going to go back in with, I don't know, I'm going to try this as a starter. If this don't work, I'm going to go in with a black marker. So we're just like getting some of the, what I'll do is, right, with this snowman, I'm just going to put some water around there first. Right. And then I'm going to get some grey blue and like float it into it. Like that. And just leave that to dry for a bit. And work on another area. And get that bit there. And get some more grey blue. Because that's one of the easiest ways to get like a shadow into something like snow.
Is doing what?
Putting like a grey bluey colour in it.
Right, a grayish blue color, yeah.
Yeah. Right, so I've put some water in the area where I want it, and then I'm going to pick up a tiny little bit of deepish blue-grey. I'm going to just drop it into it almost like a pipette.
Mystic Unicorn has a question. She wants to know, are you going to post this on Facebook, Ian?
I will be doing later on, yes. So, although because it's late at night here, I have to use artificial light, and that doesn't give you the best quality picture. Wow. So I don't know whether I might leave it till tomorrow morning. I might do, but I'll be I'll give it a go, see what it looks like, because it doesn't always come out very well when you post it, when you've took a photo. I'm going to do the same with this particular snowman here. And it gives it that sense of 3D.
Yeah.
And we've got to wait for that drying now. So we'll move on to something else. So we've got a little bird here. So I'm really simply just gonna.
She said, oh, that's fine, whatever time you can do it. She says her daughter wants to see it because it's kind of pixelated due to your internet.
Yeah, it probably will be, unfortunately. I apologize for that, but we will get around to it once it's done. So it's a bit like a robin, this one. There you go. We've got a little robin there. Oh, we've got another robin there as well. And none of these are overly complicated things, and that's one of ways you can actually give it that illustrated kind of feel.
I think this is is an easy style of watercolor, I think.
Well, I think this is within reach of anybody. The
Yeah.
only hard bit about this is coming up with a concept for the drawing.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
I'll just
I wasn't talking about that. Oh yeah, no, I'm not talking about the concept. No, that's a little more. That's a little more. That takes a lot of creativity and more skill and.
I mean, this is just one page. Several designs that I looked at.
Yeah, right. I didn't mean that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So different facial expressions and all that kind of stuff. That's the hardest part about putting a picture together.
The painting part.
Well, no, I mean the painting part, because you're not doing overly technical. The only rule you should abide by with this is just make sure that you're not letting the paint bleed into one another too much.
Yeah, you can't paint two wet areas next to each other.
Yeah, and that's the real key to this particular type of painting. Think of it as separate bits that you have to paint.
Yep.
Which is opposite to what you would normally do with watercolor. What you want to do with watercolor is make everything come together.
Okay.
Now, I'm doing this because it's an illustration. And that's how you do illustration. The compartmentalized, the simplistic in the format. So, right.
Yeah, that's right.
And but very effective, because you see illustrations not just in children's books, but in all sorts of even technical manuals. And that's how it's kept simple. Keep it simple. Right, so this is his next layer on his house.
Oh, I think that gingerbread house is going to be a little difficult to paint.
I'm just take into account it's a basic thing.
Yeah.
And it's in background.
You're trying to not get the colors. You don't want the colors bleed into each other.
Well, I've waited until that's dried, you see, and that's the key to it.
Oh, okay.
So as long as you're not painting anything that's wet all the time.
Right.
All right. Right. I'm going to leave the bobbly hat white, and it's going to have stripes, his bobbly hat. So what colour stripes should we have on his hat? On his
where?
He's got an hat, this snowman. What colour should we have?
He has
I'm thinking about a two colour stripe on his hat. On his hat.
On his hat.
Red and green?
Yeah. Yeah, it's red and green. That's good.
So one of the things you can do is, if you're only using two colours, right, is
welcome back, buddy. Oh yes.
Draw your first line. Then move on, draw your second line. Then like that. And then once that's dry, I'll come back to it.
Right.
So I'm going to use some of that red that I've got there, and I'm going to add some orange to it.
Elf Lord's Journey. Hello. You know Elf Lord's Journey.
Hey, Elf. I do know Elf, yeah. I bump into him quite regularly all over internet.
He says Happy New Year. Yep, Happy New Year.
Oh, it's a bit belated. Belated? No, wait a minute.
No, it's belated. He's not saying Merry Christmas. He's saying Happy New Year.
A bit early. I'm sorry. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on 2019 yet. Oh dear. There's plenty of time for some great disaster to happen yet. isn't there?
No,
Between now and
hope not. No, hope not.
well, we've had a bit of concern ourselves from Philippines. You know, my wife's from
Oh
Philippines.
yeah, I want to check on a friend of mine.
At the moment, we're told that her family's okay at the moment. So, but it is the season for them to have them kinds of tornadoes. They have them all every year.
Mm-hmm.
So, what were I going to do with this? Oh, there we go. Like every good, oh, like every good.
Every good boy does fine. Oh, that's
No,
an acronym for music. To remember
is it?
that. Oh yeah, every good boy does fine is the acronym for learning the music note, the position of the music note.
Pentatonic notes, is it? Is it?
I don't know. No, I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know about what kind of notes. Just the basic position of the music notes.
oh, all the notes of so. See, this is what happens when you're not being patient, and it has an effect on all sorts of things. So what I've done there is I've put its nose in, and every good snowman has a carrot for a nose, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, good.
So although that means now it's took all of that really nice work I did on that grey out. So I'm gonna have to repaint that in.
Yeah, I'm always amazed at Elf Lord's journey. Whenever he does one of Dina's challenges, Elf Lord, you always do tons of pictures. You don't just do like one picture you don't just do one piece of artwork for the challenge.
Well, I mean, if you can afford the time for it, why not?
Yeah, he does like 10 or more.
And it all depends on how big your actual images are. I mean, you could do one gigantic big one, or you could do lots of. I know a lot of people do a lot of miniature paintings and the tiny little things, but they do thousands of them.
Oh yeah.
One of the most amazing pieces of artwork that I've ever seen in my life, right? It were a series of sculptures, and you walked into this big hall, and they're all tiny, tiny little sculptures. Exactly handmade, each one handmade. They weren't molded. They were
Yeah.
handmade sculptures, and there were tens of thousands of them, all
Oh,
in this. And you just looked, and it were a wow. How much work would and each one were individually made by the artist.
oh gosh. Well, Elf Lord says, oh yeah, yes, Elf Lord, he says because it's pixelating, he says it's a unicorn. Yeah, it's a fantasy creature. Unicorn, part seahorse with a snowman riding the creature. So it's a fantasy creature, part unicorn, part seahorse.
That's the one.
Oh, he says he always does 8 or 9
8 or 9.
until he's happy.
So, there's one other thing I've got to do that I forgot to do. Unicorns, well, not unicorns. Seahorses have these like little flippers, don't they? So
Yeah, I guess they do.
that's one. Oh, I'm going to abbreviate this. You don't have to go through every colour at rainbow for that. I'm just going to make it seem as though I've done that. Tricks at trade.
What was that?
Tricks at trade.
I don't know what you're saying.
Um, right, to follow suit with everything that we've done up to press with these rainbowy things, right? You
Yeah.
might think that you've got to do these flippers. If you're going to do rainbow again in these flippers, you might think, oh, well, I've got to do every one of those colours. You don't really. You can abbreviate it.
Mm-hmm.
People don't get the fact that it's like a rainbowy colour, even though you've only done 2 or 3 colours. So it's it's a it's about association.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Taking its time this. So what time are we on? Wow, I haven't got much time left. I'm going to have to speed the process up.
Oh, okay.
Make sure that's all. Um, right. I will do a very on this. I'll do a highlights of colours.
Highlights with the gouache, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just watercolor, but I'm just getting so that it's just not stark white. And getting little bits of areas that might be dark because of shadow. Right. I'm hoping that red green, that red dry now, because what I'm going to do is just go boom, boom, boom. There you go. So I'll put a greeny colour on it. There you go. Now, what I wanted, my idea with that rainbow is to make it come down off of the mountain as like some sort of like magical
Oh,
shadow.
oh, that's gonna be tricky.
Well, it's only a concept idea. You don't have to like turn it into reality, do you? At the end of the day, it's like
Oh, okay, I see.
it's just like a shadow of it, but in colour. I'm gonna call it that.
And you're painting the colors right next to each other.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
not,
letting it blend in. This time round, I want it to blend in because
oh, you want it to blend.
it's like
Oh,
it's
soft
not it's not
shadow.
reality. It's not reality. That's
Right.
the reality. The rainbow. This
The
is some sort of
shadow.
like shadow of it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
Yeah,
we live in
right.
this is
That would look, you don't want the harsh line.
reality. Reality in this picture, reality doesn't exist. We're not trying to create reality.
Yeah.
We're trying to create some sort of weird, fanciful, uh, you know, universe where normal science doesn't have a bearing.
Right.
Although you do need to keep it within reason. Oh, we've got that tree to do. We've gone quiet on you.
I know. And people are leaving.
Hey?
people are leaving
Hey?
because
Oh,
we're not keeping up conversation or something.
I know. I'm concentrating because I don't want to get this wrong.
And I can't think of anything to say.
All right. Right, I'm gonna work. Right, I'm gonna blot a lot of these things now. And, I might even just get me me heat gun out for a quick session to make sure it's absolutely dry.
Oh, okay.
Because this bit is critically important. Operation. Right, heat gun.
Right. Yes, StreamYard quiets it down after a couple minutes.
Uh-huh.
We don't hear it. We hardly hear it right now. It was the first couple minutes we could hear it, and StreamYard calms it. I mean, quiets it down. Oh, Elford, Bernie, yeah, no, you didn't miss anything. He's just drying it before he goes on to the next step. What kind of sandwich did you make?
Yeah, that's okay. It's just really important that before we go any farther, we make sure that it's. Do you think it needs? Oh, yes, it does. Yeah, and it does. Right. So I'm going to squeeze out some of me gouache. Gouache.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty. It's got a really weird
You like
smell.
that better than the Chinese white?
Well, Chinese white don't. Oh, it just. It's not probably not strong enough.
Yeah, because Chinese white is considered a watercolor.
It is. I mean, that's what this is. That's what this is. It's water.
That
It's
sounds good,
Chinese white.
Elford.
Hey.
I asked. He said he stepped away to make a sandwich, and I said, "What kind of sandwich did you make?" He said, "Turkey, lettuce, tomato, cheese." I said, "That sounds good."
Oh, well, there you go. So what I'm going to do is make a really, really thin wash. Now, you just dab it out a bit. Test piece. No.
Ian, Alflor Journey has a question. Which brand of paint do you use?
Today I'm using Jackson's watercolors.
Jack? Wait, no relation to you?
No relation to me whatsoever. Don't even give me a family discount. And all I'm doing with this is like toning it, this green that we've done. I'm just toning it down to make it look as though that it's a little bit wintry. That's all this is for.
Oh, I see, right.
You could do a little bit like that.
Yeah, he's never heard of Jackson's watercolor paint.
They're a very good watercolor paint. I tell you a little trade secret about that. They're made by Sennelier.
They might only be available in the UK. They might not be available here.
They're available in US. You just have to go to Jackson's website.
Okay.
And the one at best in world actually with regards to sales of art equipment.
Mm-hmm.
If I get an opportunity, I'll put
It's a French name. You're saying Sennelier? Like that's a French name, right?
It is, yeah. You've heard of Sennelier is one of the world's best watercolors.
No, I haven't heard of that, but I just know that what you said was a French word.
Sennelier. I don't know what the translation is of it.
Oh, we don't know. We don't know how to spell it, but there's another word similar to that. Sommelier is a wine expert. There's a word very similar to that. Sommelier is
well, it may be that not necessarily wine, but it might be that. Well, hopefully with that.
Yeah, Elf-Lord Journey made by Sommelier. That's right.
Does Elf-Lord know who Sennelier are?
I don't know.
They're a massive big company. The one at world's best watercolors and
I imagine if you're a watercolor painter, you've heard of them, but I'm not. I just only dabble in watercolor, so I have not heard of them.
So what we've done is we've given that a slight hint of snowiness, so it gives it a little bit. And I'm just gonna, get some neat gouache now and. Oops, no, that's blown it. There you go. It's me being too over exuberant. That's why I don't do an awful lot of this. It's an awful lot of faffing about, working on stuff.
To me, that would be easier. I mean, not the concept of the drawing, but I mean that kind of watercolor painting is easier. That would be easier for me to do than whatever the rest of usually the other style that you do. It's less. I feel like it's less advanced painting than what you usually do.
Yeah, but it's an awful lot of working around stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I know.
It's like, it's almost like everything's detail.
Oh, I see.
About detail. I don't hate detail. It's just that it's a lot of faffing about.
Yeah.
When you don't actually really, in most watercolor environments, you don't need to. So as far as I'm concerned, that's given it that little bit of feel of snowiness.
Oh, you need some snow on the gingerbread house. And maybe on the trees.
Maybe. Just a little bit. So we're not that far away from actually getting on with doing the only thing I've got to do now is that snowman. He's got an orange. He's got an orange nose.
Elf-Lord Journey says he's only used cheap paints.
Well, that painting I did the other day for Chrissy Canvas Art, that not one of those were above £1.
Are you talking about the acrylic painting you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were. I got all those paints from a pound shop.
Right.
So you can do it. No, you don't have to use. It's just when you're thinking about long term, and you've just not got to expect major results from things that are only £1.
Okay.
And also you've got to make sure that you don't paint stuff, and it fade away within a week of you actually painting it. Because
Right.
you know some cheap paints can literally die on you as soon as you take a picture of it. Right, I'm just going to give everything else now another. I think I've got everything all. Well, no, what I haven't done. Round the edges of that eye there.
Oh, you're not going to put candy canes on the gingerbread house?
I could do. Whereabouts? On roof.
Like 2 big candy canes, like on each side of the door.
I'll try.
But
it's such a...
you didn't put snow on the roof, right?
No, not really. I mean, the thing is, what you got to do, you've got to do it in context to how far it is away.
Right. Just, yeah. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter if you put the candy canes, but I was just never.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It goes with that. It goes with that narrative, doesn't it? And if it was something a lot closer, I'd probably do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it. I mean, it is gonna have some. Yeah, I put some in there, but you can barely see it because the building itself is only very small. Oh dear, you seem to have what I've got.
No, I'm not sick.
Well, you're sneezing, so
I know when I
tells me that you've got a bit of a
it doesn't
cold.
mean I'm sick. I know you might think I'm sick, but I'm not. No.
I don't think you're sick. I know you're sick.
Yeah.
If you're sneezing like that, you're getting rid of some kind of cold. That's what your body's there for, unless it's an allergy. So anyway, right, I'm going to quickly blast over everything, make sure it's all dry, and then we're on final push.
Okay.
Just have a quick fortifying biscuit. Nice.
Biscuit? You mean cookie?
No. It's a cracker.
Oh, it's a cracker.
It's a cracker.
Yeah.
Nice. Right. Now, what should I do? Just a second.
What should you do?
Should I use a pen?
Yes, I think you
Should I
use
use
a pencil. Use a pen. It'll look better.
Yeah, it might not come over well enough. That right. Here we go.
I know a lot about using water because I know a lot about using watercolor with markers, and that's going to look better.
This is a Kuretake Fugo okay.
Wait, is that Japanese?
It's a Japanese bendy pen.
Oh, okay.
So it's for doing illustrations. So, and the trick with this is you got to be careful about where you put lines and how. Right, I'm gonna make myself a lot of space here by getting rid of my pen. Right, so I'm gonna start. I don't really. I'm gonna be.
You only need it on the front of the unicorn.
Like that. It's the flicks that you do that makes the difference.
Okay.
You really don't need to put it everywhere.
Oh, I see. Let me see what you do. Oh, okay.
They're the tiniest of, you know.
That's nice.
It's that. See, this one here is a lot closer, so we're gonna be a lot bolder with what we're doing.
Oh, welcome back, Sleeve Stack Rules.
There you go. Because it's like this rainbow, I'm not going to do every line.
Sleeve Stack Rules has a question.
Yes.
Do you have an Etsy shop?
I don't have an Etsy shop, no.
So if somebody's interested in buying stuff from you, they should just look at your Facebook business page.
Contact me on my Facebook. And
here's his channel.
Right.
I'm going to drop the link right now. That's his channel.
If you look on my channel, right at the top, it tells you my Facebook address.
Right.
It says it on there.
He's very active on posting all his artwork on Facebook.
And obviously, because this is a key area, I'm gonna give it a. Oh,
that's
see
nice.
how that stands out now.
Yeah, that's right.
And
yep.
The most forward things are the things that are the most. See that line there. This is far back, so I'm going to be a lot lighter with it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the most forward thing is a deeper thing. So we've got a line going in there, and we've got a line that. This is a little bit tricky. I'm going to bring it around like that, and then make it nice and thick here. And you'll see how it when you get your line working, it all starts to really come together as a piece of illustration.
Right.
Nice and light there. And then he's got his eyebrows there, which I want to make sure we see. Now, I'm going to put his eyes in there. With the eyes, you don't have to have them all perfectly. I'm going to have it really thick there, and then I'm just going to let it fade out. So start there, go thick fairly quickly to this side, and then let it fade out. And then you've got variation in, because what we don't want is it to all be exactly the same thickness in the line art.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll come down here, and this is a fairly close area, so we're going to go quite thick here. And just show that there's an area there that, you know, front of an horse's nose it tends to be like dark. So I've just like created that there to make it so we know that that's the end bit, and then its nose is just simply that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can be quite delicate with that there. Then he's got a little bit of a mouth and a bit where we're going to just colour in like that. And with this side here, going down the unicorn, we're going to be fairly delicate. But with this side here, we're going to be quite thick. That's because this side here is...
In shadow.
No, this side here is closer to us than what that would be. That's receding. That's coming towards us. One thing we do need to put in is like that. Hope it's starting to come together for you all. And
yeah.
A little bit of a line there to differentiate that from that white bit. Then this is where we're going to put lines in. And it don't matter if it's not like, if it's not filled in all the gaps. That's part of the fun of the painting. It makes it feel a tiny bit loose. Now he's got like a neck collar there, that unicorn, so that the
oh yeah, well, that's a neck collar.
So that the
to ride him.
Yeah, that's it. So we can control him because he's a naughty little unicorn. You know what, they like unicorns, they do as they please. So we've got a little thing that they have, I don't know what they call them. And then we'll come down here. And we'll bring it right round. We've got a bit of a flick. And with some of these things, you've got to be just delicate with them. Like that. There's other thing that we've got to put in is over wing there, which you can't really see very well. So I'm just going to draw it in.
Yeah, it really comes together with a line work.
Yeah, it does. Once you start getting your, don't worry about it not looking good at first. This type of art is all based around the line art. That's what really gives it its depth and its strength.
Yeah.
So it's only when you start getting your line art in. Some people actually paint the line art in first.
Oh, right.
And then fill it in, and then go over any bits that they've missed. That's another way of doing it. But I've decided to do
that with kids. Either way, I've tried both ways with kids. They do with a permanent marker, do their drawing first, and then do their watercolor, or I've had them do the watercolor and then do the line work on top. But I think most often they did the line work first, and then they would paint in with watercolor.
Want to make sure we get that in, because that's his leg. Because that makes it make sense of how he's riding on it. Right, and I'm gonna. There are certain areas where you might want to extend that area, and put little bits of extra black in it. And very light there. This is all fairly light, this bit.
Oh, you did not color in his carrot nose yet, right?
Yeah, it's there. It's colored in.
Oh, I can't. Okay, I can't see it.
It is very light, but And with the bobble there, I'm not actually doing all the line work. I'm just doing random little lines like that. They don't always have to connect together, especially when you're receding into background. So that again is light because it's facing away from us. And the only other thing to do there on the snowman is his hand. So we just got the tail to do there. And I'm just going to be flicky with this. Flicky, 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 flick. Right. One thing you can do with distant things like this is just go like that. It don't always, like I say, have to be drawn in exactly in a line. We've got a little bird to do. Start off with path very broken up like that. Then by the time you get here, we can have a really thick, strong line to make sure that you know that that's in the foreground. So now we get to your favourite bit. See if we can.
And that's a little snowman riding on the front? That little tiny one?
No, that little snowman there is on the ground.
Oh, okay.
He's actually waving up at.
Oh, he's on the pathway. I thought that pathway was part of the animal. I see it's a pathway.
Right. Not that far off completion with this.
Right.
So if anybody's got any last thoughts or
Yeah,
ideas
but
about.
has any last thoughts or questions?
Right, we've got a little bird to do there. Honestly, people, have a go at it and just let your imagination go.
Right.
I'm sure you can do this.
I've done this before. Not that, but I would create my own fantasy creature as an example to show the kids how for them to create fantasy creatures, how they put together different animals and I usually always have a sample or example that I do ahead of time. I've never created this creature, of course, no.
No, well, it's unique. Yeah.
I would probably, I would have had the creature by itself only because that would have been easier for me to get that
I wanted
snowman
it to
in
be.
riding it. That would have been hard for me. That would be hard for me to get that snowman riding it.
Well, you just have to look at humans riding horses,
Yeah,
and look at the posture that they might have.
right.
But being as it's 10:57, I'm
Okay.
gonna call that done.
Yeah, thank you so much.
There you go.
Oh, Unicorn. Okay, Mr. Unicorn. Now it looks clear. Yeah, Mr. Unicorn can see it. Yeah, we can see it a lot better now.
Well, now the actual line art's in there. I mean, you can, like I said, do the line art first, but then you're gonna have to be really, really precise unless you get another pen and repen it. Are there any areas that just be very selective about what you actually do as line art. It don't have to all be absolutely done.
Yeah, if anybody's gonna try this or try it with their kids, this is here. And if you have questions, here's Ian's channel, and then you go to his YouTube channel, and then his Facebook link. That's how you get a hold of him, is through Facebook. His Facebook link is on his YouTube banner, probably on your YouTube banner, right?
Yeah, there's a little button that you can press,
Right.
but on my banner
Yeah.
it says my YouTube. It says my YouTube thing on it.
Yeah, that's how you
So
contact
you just type in what it says there, or look up Facebook iJax71, and I'll spell that out for you.
You're gonna type that in?
Yeah, I'll write that down. And
Hashtag, right?
yeah, it's hashtag.
What, you're writing it on the paper for me to copy?
No, I'm going to put it on the screen now to show everybody. Right, can people see that?
But you did you did an @ symbol instead of hashtag.
Yeah, it's that instead. Well, if you go into Facebook and type that in, you'll find it.
Well, why don't you keep it on the screen? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, don't put that in it.
Okay, that if you want to contact him, all right. Thanks so much, Ian.
So,
Thank you for the people watching and listening. Because it was not that near the end, it was not that active in the chat. And thank you for those that were listening.
might not be everybody's cup of tea, this kind of art, but it is something what they do with watercoloring occasionally.
Right.
But illustration of this kind can take quite a few hours. So, you know, in the couple of hours that we have for painting,
Yeah, it's really cute. I like how it turned out.
it's not too bad. There's a few bits
The
of
line
things
work,
there.
the line work really makes it pop.
Yes. So you get some nice strong bold colours in, and the line art really gives it that depth once but you've got to make sure that you're not just drawing the lines exactly the same. It's you look and variating the depth of the line, and I'm not always completing the line. In certain places I don't quite complete it, so it's not about doing a rigid line round it all the way.
Okay.
So,
okay, thanks everybody.
Tip for the day. All right then, guys.
Okay. Bye everybody. Thank you. Thanks again, Ian. Thanks again.
Bye bye. Thanks all. See you all later. See you in the new year.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening and watching, listening and chatting.
And thanks for modding as well. Thanks for the mods.
Have a nice weekend, everybody.
All right then. Bye. Bye. Bye.